If Chair Gensler gets away with misclassifying Ether as a security, it's really catastrophic in the United States.
The SEC seeks to regulate ETH as a security, and this affects you if you hold Ethereum.
Because if Ether is a security, then it can't be sold legally. It can't be sold, and it can't be bought in the US. And Ether is essential for access to the Ethereum network, right? I mean, you need Ether to transact.
Now, at the moment, this is just alleged in Consensus's lawsuit against the SEC. They allege a regulatory overreach.
We've sued the SEC in our home state of Texas, which is actually where I'm joining you from now.
And because they saw what was coming, Consensus filed a preemptive lawsuit against the SEC in order to prevent the SEC from seizing control of Ethereum.
To defend Ether and the Ethereum network from Chair Gensler's unlawful power grab.
Consensus being one of the main developers of the Ethereum network, they're the creators of Metamask, etc. And in this recent 90-second clip of the Unchained podcast, senior counsel and head of litigation and investigations at Consensus explains why they're fighting back against the SEC now.
We've been forced for years now to defend against multiple secret SEC investigations, and it's really time they saw the light of day because these are important, critical issues for our industry. In our investigations, the SEC wasn't only targeting our product team, Metamask. They weren't only targeting our finance team, asking about our sales of Ether. They were actually targeting our wonderful Ethereum developers. People who are doing the important work of innovating and improving the Ethereum network. And that's really a bridge too far. And if Chair Gensler gets away with misclassifying Ether as a security, it's really catastrophic in the United States. Because if Ether is a security, then it can't be sold legally. It can't be sold, then it can't be bought in the US. And Ether is essential for access to the Ethereum network, right? I mean, you need Ether to transact. So the end result of the SEC's actions seem to be moving toward unplugging the Ethereum network in the United States. And that's, just something we can't stand for.
And it seems that a big reason today that the SEC is now labeling ETH a security is because they're now proof of stake after the merge. After ETH 2.0 back in September of 2022, ETH transitioned.
From the bits and pieces that the crypto industry has been able to glean so far, it seems that the SEC's inquiries into ETH and the Wells notice that Consensus received are centered around this notion that ETH is now a security because of its transition from a proof of work consensus mechanism to now proof of stake, and that the people who put up ETH to stake it and receive yield back are engaging in some kind of investment contract.
Now, is Ethereum a security? Is Ethereum staking an investment contract? This could be in litigation for years. But an even bigger revelation is when Consensus received a Wells notice from the SEC accused of operating Metamask, the DeFi wallet, without a license, claiming a self-custody wallet should operate under the same rules as a broker.
So the Wells notice, we've had 3 investigations, of which Consensus has been a target. And 2 of them have culminated in the Wells notice. That's charges that MetaMask swaps on the one hand and MetaMask staking on the other are acting as unregistered securities brokers. MetaMask staking is essentially a way of communicating with liquid staking protocols, Lido and Rocket Pool. And the SEC's theory also is apparently that Lido and Rocket Pool themselves are unregistered securities offerings, and that somehow through MetaMask staking, Consensus is distributing securities, unregistered securities. So the Wells notice is focused on 2 of the 3 investigations. It doesn't address, or it didn't address, the 3rd investigation, Ethereum 2.0. And so one thing the SEC is doing is proceeding piecemeal, which is really unfair. And that's something else we're addressing by bringing our lawsuit in Texas, where, these are all issues that the SEC has pushed to the forefront when it comes to Consensus. And we deserve a full and fair airing of all the issues at once.
And host Laura Shin brings up an excellent point that not too long ago, March 28th, 2024, a U.S. judge did determine that Coinbase's self-custody crypto wallet doesn't make it a broker.
Because basically Judge Fela said that the Coinbase wallet, which is probably quite similar to the Metamask wallet, does not act as a broker.
This was a significant setback for the SEC, yet it appears that Gary Gensler doesn't care what the U.S. judge said.
They are not taking the guidance that Judge Fela gave and all her wisdom, which is that DeFi wallets that connect users to third-party protocols that essentially allow users to communicate with those protocols are not brokers. They're still pursuing this theory, and you're right to draw that connection because Judge Fela's ruling as to Coinbase wallet, it's a DeFi wallet, should apply with equal force to MetaMask swaps.
And this could be wrapped up in litigation for years because Consensus is not backing down. Like Coinbase, they're fighting back. And nobody has more money, definitely much more money than the SEC, a government agency. But nobody has more money in general than the successful crypto companies. Consensus has hired the same watch-tell lawyers Coinbase is using in its battle against the SEC. Watchtell is widely regarded as one of the best litigators in the world, meaning they certainly didn't cheap out and just hire the best law firm in the US. These are the best lawyers in the world.
And what I love about this is that it's continuing the trend of crypto not backing down anymore. Like when we're done kind of backing down, we're done being bullied by the SEC. As an industry, we now are just taking the fight to them.
Ethereum educator and founder of the Daily Gwei on YouTube explains.
You have Consensus preemptively suing the SEC here. You have Coinbase not rolling over at all over the SEC, suing them and basically saying, we're going to fight you for as long as it takes. You have Uniswap Labs doing the same. You had, obviously, a while ago, Grayscale do the same with the SEC. And Ripple, of course, and a few others out there. But now the SEC has just gone way too far, right? They've basically gone to the point where they've done that scorched earth approach that I've talked about before, where essentially everyone in crypto now realizes that if SEC keeps doing this, they're going to push all of the innovation out of the US, absolutely everything out of the US, and they're going to very much harm the US economy in the grand scheme of things, and also harm US people.
And again, the head of the SEC is always appointed by the current presidential administration. So there is a possibility if we get a new president, maybe they'll appoint somebody else. But there is no guarantees that that next person won't feel a similar way as Gary. So that's not a guarantee. I am glad we are taking this to the SEC's doorstep and fighting back.
And all that's going to happen is that crypto is not going to die. Crypto is not going anywhere. But what's going to happen is that crypto is going to die in the US if they keep on this path. If the regulators keep on this path and they keep just screwing around, people are eventually going to give up and basically say it's not worth it to stick around. But at this point in time, we haven't given up yet. We're at the then they fight you stage. And you know what? We're fighting back. We're not going to lay down and get bullied anymore. So that's why I thought that this was really bullish today, not just for Ethereum, but crypto generally.
I will link both Anthony Sassano and Laura Shin's podcasts down below. If you're invested in crypto, be sure to subscribe. You cannot afford to miss a daily update. Touch the like button if you got value today, and like always, see you tomorrow.